Alright, welcome back to the channel, guys. And no, I'm not Ty, but you're thinking, oh, wonder where Ty's off to today. Well, Ty is currently in America for work. So if you are new to the channel here, or you don't know who I am, I'll introduce myself. I am Aaron, or as I'm known on social medias, Azventures Australia. Like I said, Ty is currently in America, and yeah, he's actually given me his ticket to the Ford F150 launch and drive day with Ford Australia. So usually he'd do these things, but he's currently in America for work. So he said, hey Az, do you want to take over the channel for a couple of days and do some filming for me and test out some cars? I'm like, bloody oath. So yeah, I've just pulled into Newcastle Airport here. It's nice and early, and I should start making my way over to the terminal. But yeah, gonna fly down to Melbourne and hang out with Ford for the next 2 days. So I'll bring you along with me and we'll go test out some cars.
What we've set out to do with Ford F150 is bring back America's favourite truck to Aussie drivers.
Well, we've finally made it out to Werribee. We're at Lancemore Mansion for the next couple of days, which is pretty cool. This place is insane. Ford is really turning it on. So as you can see, there's all the cars, all the 150s in the background here. So we get to test drive these beasts, which is really cool. They're such nice vehicles. But the guys at Ford have got a heap planned for us over the next couple of days. We're doing a big walkthrough of the RMA facility where they remanufacture all these cars. And yeah, we just get to test them out, do some towing, learn about all the different features like the reverse park towing features, which is really cool. And yeah, so I guess we're gonna get straight into it and test these vehicles out. Rightio. So the first thing first, what I actually noticed, or what I did before getting into the car, is I tried to put a GoPro on the roof. So I'm used to filming and just slapping a three-footed monster onto a car wherever you want. But in the F150, it's actually, the body's all aluminium. So with that being said, the Ranger Raptor, the current next gen Ranger Raptor, is actually heavier than the F150, which is pretty crazy because physically they're huge compared to the Ranger Raptor. To have a car this size that's actually lighter than the next gen Ranger Raptor is mind-blowing. It's just on a little bit of dirt corrugations here coming out of Lancemore. Some cars, those little corrugations would feel intense, like crazy, but that felt alright. Oh, holy dooly. That has some get up. So these new F150s do have 298 kilowatts, and I think it's 654 or 664, something like that, Newton meters of torque. And then in this car, just straight out of the gate there, feels like a lot of power. So this weekend we've got, or this next couple of days, we've got the XLT, which is the base model that they're bringing in through Ford, and then the Lariat to tell you what, they are chalk and cheese internally. So this one's fairly basic inside. It's got some power. So they're fairly basic inside, cloth interior, a little bit of fake wood grain here and there, but it does feel a bit plasticky. I mean, it's nice, but for $110,000, I think they could do a little bit more. The steering wheel's nice, feels like a good size. Just adjusted the seat. I've got the seat sitting up sort of high, how I'd sit in my Ranger, because when I'm driving I like to see over the bonnet, and with the hardcore four-wheel driving that I personally like to do, I like to sit up and be able to see everything. But in terms of the size of the car, you know, it doesn't feel huge, which is nice. Like on the outside of the car, they do look quite large. So to sit in here and have a nice bit of space between you and your missus or partner or whatever, you know, there's plenty of space. And even in the back, there is plenty of room. So if you're doing a long haul trip, you know, you're going up to Queensland or down south going skiing for the week, there's plenty of room. Your kids in the back aren't going to be poking each other because they've got plenty of space as well, which is also something to think about, which is also good. Let's give it a little bit. It's 80 k's far out. Man, that's impressive. 3.6 litre EcoBoost. That's a lot of power. I mean, this car is super smooth on road. Like, it's nice to drive, feels planted. We've got a few chicanes coming up here. This is an impressive truck. Yep. And through work, I do get to drive a lot of different, you know, American style trucks. Something a bit rattly back there. The Ram 1500s, the F250s. I'm not licensed to drive a 350 unless it's detuned. Same with the 2500s, and I can drive those, and some 3500s. But I think, yeah, if you're looking at the US market for a truck, I think this is the new standard. It has to be. This is a nice, even in the XLT, it's a very nice car. But as a daily, man, super quiet in here. We had some time with Peter and Tom. Did a lot of work on the development and the conversion and everything for the F150, and I asked them, you know, what's the turnaround from when an F150 lands on the ground till it's out the door converted? 22 hours. I just want to quickly ask you, Tom.
Yes.
This is Tom.
G'day.
So I asked a question in there earlier. How long does it take from when one of these hits the ground in Australia,
yeah, to
running out the door for me to purchase one, basically?
That's a really good question. I mean, there's a few steps along the way. You got to get from the boat to the holding yard, from the holding yard to the plant. There's probably, when we're up and running and we're moving smoothly, I would say there's probably a few weeks in that.
Yep.
And then once it gets to the plant, it's about 22 hours, 22 working hours from start to finish. And then after that, it just needs to get to the dealer.
Yeah. So there you go. 22 hours. They gut the whole thing, flip it over. There's so many components in this car that they reproduce and remanufacture to make it to Australian standards and to give it that OE feeling and factory finish that it comes out with from the States, which is mind-blowing. Like, just even though this is the XLT, just the detail in finishes is second to none. Like, I've been in plenty of US conversions where, you know, you go to wind down the window and you go to wind down the driver's side, and the passenger side actually comes down because they've just taken it out of the door on the effectively left-hand driver's side door and replaced it into the right-hand drive door. So the buttons are back to front. There's wiring issues. There's so many small things that they've thought about with converting the F150 from US to Australian, and you can tell, you would not know this car has been converted. That's how good the finishes are. It's crazy. 22 hours. It's been a long road for this car to come out into Australia, and by golly, congratulations Ford. Like, you have nailed it. Just everything works nicely. Got all your different four-wheel drive modes. Like, everything is how it should be. Awesome. So just been for a first drive in the XLT, which is nice, very impressive. So this behind me here is the Lariat. So the next step up, heaps of cool features, 4.5 ton towing. You got all your disco lights for around the car, all your cameras, and yeah, it's really cool with the towing. So this camera goes straight down onto your tow ball to see exactly where you are as opposed to your trailer. Oh geez, I just pressed a button. How cool is that? And I think this pops out.
Oh, you just...
I just broke it.
That's a tailgate.
Yeah.
Work that bit out.
Yeah. There we go, straight into the bed. It's got a nice, I don't know if it's Raptor coat or bed liner. And then you got these big cleats, lockdown cleats as well in here. So there's plenty of room if you want to stick a dirt bike in here. We'll leave the tailgate open. So we've also got lighting into your tub as well, which is pretty cool at night. And then over here, so you got power. Oh, and then if we jump out on the step, which is actually pretty handy. I guess you fold that back up. And then it's all assisted, spring assisted as well. Beautiful car. Just your leaf sprung suspension under there. So it's got a 790 kilo, I'm not sure of the stats. It's about just 800 kilos, just under 800 kilo payload, 4.5 ton towing. And then they've also kept the keypad the same side around here.
The last 5%.
I don't want to make you mad.
So you still got access on the curbside. If you're going to the beach, or you know, going to the shops, you don't want to carry your keys, still got access to the keypad.
Yeah.
The reason why they didn't move it around to the driver's side, it was a cost thing, and the amount of money that it would have been to transfer that keypad to the driver's side would be astronomical. So I get why they've done that. It's fair enough, safer on the curbside as well, which makes sense. And then internally, actually beautiful in here. So shut the door and it's super quiet. And like I said, with the interior on the XLT, the finishes in the Lariat are so much nicer. And you got these cool graphics on the dash. So we open up the door, infotainment's huge, landscape view, and then you got knobs for everything, which is good. Nothing worse than having just push buttons for everything, especially volume. So which is good to see that. And then all these bits and pieces, look at that. So your shifter folds down, and then that opens up into a nice flat workspace which is pretty cool if you're sitting here having lunch or whatever. Yeah, it's really nice. Same sort of steering wheel, the XLT, but just the finishes in here are much nicer. Leather seats, you got vented, heated and cooled front seats, and I think they're heated back seats as well. And then the giant moonroof, which when you're driving here, this makes it feel huge. Same car as the XLT, but that just gives it this feel of massiveness inside. And then you got 18 speaker B&O, Bang & Olufsen, which cranks in the XLT as well, but this one, once you tune it correctly to your taste, yeah, it'd be insane. So super nice. Yeah, I'm very impressed. Well done, Ford. Well done. Anyone who buys one of these trucks, is yeah, going to be very pleasantly surprised with how nice and well built they are, back to OEM standards. So yeah, it's really cool. They have like remanufactured so much stuff to, yeah, keep it factory. Yeah.
So you can chuck it into towing haul if you like, just to see what it's like. We're going to turn left up here at the green shade house, but if you want to, am I right in going normal tow haul? So give it a bit and it'll change colour, and you'll find that it starts revving more in a minute. Gives you a bit more torque, engine, you know, I think it just applies a bit more engine braking and things like that.
Turn left.
Yep. I'm not the tech for the terms, but it does feel more changing dynamics. Yeah, correct. It does feel more stable. Feel that? Different?
Yeah, it comes on earlier.
More torque, yeah. A bit more.
Holds it longer.
Yeah. Holds through. Maybe
it's pretty smooth, like it's super smooth.
It is. Yeah.
Like if you didn't know this was a V6, you would probably just assume it was a V8.
Yep.
But just a quiet V8.
100%.
So just got back from a bit of a drive. So this new age on the back of this Lariat weighs about 3 tonne, 3.2 I think, something like that. It's a decent sized caravan. But yeah, like I said, the brakes work bloody awesome on this. It's all electric braked. Yeah, I jammed the brakes on a couple of times and you didn't even feel the caravan flinch at all on the road. And then in terms of power, it's got a smaller engine. You got the V6, but the power just is real smooth. The gearbox doesn't hunt for gears, which is nice, but just the power to the floor is there when you want it. And internally it just sounds like a V8, and if you didn't know that this was a V6, you know, you just think it was a quiet V8, but it sounded really good, so which is quite impressive. So you know, you people that are going to buy this for towing horse floats, big trailers, car trailers, things like that, they're going to be very impressed with the power that they have, which is really cool. Yeah, I'm actually very impressed. So if you're watching this and you think, what about the towing? Like, you really are going to be blown away with how good it does tow, which is very, very impressive. I guess they've built them for a reason, you know, 4.5 ton towing. But the Lariat, internally, it's beautiful. It's very luxurious, which is nice. So.
Steering wheel and start using your little
weird.
Start using a dial to bring it back, and foot off the pedal and a bit of throttle.
Jeez, that's crazy. That wheel.
It doesn't feel right.
And if you're feeling it, you can, keep turning it.
I've got to trust this, don't I?
You do.
Yeah.
You got to trust. You got to trust it.
Used to.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's about trusting the screen.
Oh, I'm going straight for it.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
Because did you just use that as your steering wheel then? Was that?
Yeah.
That is your effectively.
If I go forward.
So you go forward. Yep.
And that'll just stay on.
That stays on.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Because you've got your Pro Trailer button
Yeah.
pressed on. Yeah. So you need to cut it left.
Sort of like that.
Yeah. So if you let it go now, and if you just back. So it's pretty much in that trajectory now, right? So when you release it, just goes. That's it.
Oh, that's bizarre. So somewhere there.
To the right again. Yeah, because it's still on that angle. That's it.
It just feels wrong.
Oh, don't forget, it's the first time you've tried it, right?
Yeah, exactly right. My driving, user driving, just wants me to grab the steering wheel and just look at the mirrors like straight away, because I know I can do it, because I've driven multiple wakeboard boats and different size trailers and everything like that. So just to put all your trust in this little dial and to turn the opposite way of what you would think.
Yep.
Yeah, it's bizarre. Well, this is not a small boat. This is a Super Nautique G23. It's like one of the biggest wakeboard boats you can get in Australia. So Nathan and I have done this. It's pretty easy for Nath, but they're making Pat go different, test it out properly. It's actually really cool technology. Once you get your head around the fact that you've got to watch the back of the trailer there and use the little dial to go what way you want, it's actually pretty handy. So those people that have just bought an F150 and haven't really towed before, buying a 21 foot or a 25 foot caravan, they can it does make that a lot easier for them to be able to tow and take that nervous factor out of it, which a lot of people suffer when they're towing. If you've towed a lot, so I've had my license since I was 17 and I've been towing since then, so it's like 22 years or something. But to put all of everything you've learned about towing into a little dial and a couple of cameras, it's something that you'd really have to get used to. He's cooked it. I know Pat has a lot of experience with towing as well, so which he'd be finding it very bizarre, I reckon. What do you think, Pat? It's quite bizarre, isn't it?
It really is. That's hard to get used to. It's not.
And you've done a lot of towing.
Yeah.
A lot of different like trailers and things like that.
And I think that's the biggest problem. Is if you started fresh, that button would be perfect.
Be pretty easy.
Yeah. But when you're doing opposites, aren't you?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You're used to putting your trust in your mirrors.
That's
but
right.
Now you got to throw it out and put your trust in a couple of little cameras.
That's it.
So this whole tow bar under here is designed by Brink, and it's a 4.5 ton towing tow bar. So it's been specifically designed for the F150 because what the boys said is that the factory one that come on there only lasted 15% of the torture test. So from the US market that they bought over in development for the F150s, which is pretty cool. So this is all redesigned specifically for Australian conditions. It also comes with a 70mm ball, a forged drop hitch as well, and then you also get your 50mm ball and another hitch as well to suit. And then you get this adapter for all your trailers. So you can buy this as a kit, or you get one with the car. With all your trailer as well, it's an anti-theft, so if someone unplugs the trailer plug with your Ford Pass, it'll send you a message, an alert, and it'll set the alarm off, so yeah, it stops trailer theft, which is pretty cool as well. So I know I've heard plenty of stories down the boat ramp where people's trailers got stolen, so you don't want that. They cost a lot of money. So just one other thing as well. Bit more of a drive day today, Mr. Sammy Young. So I think we've got a 63 kilometre drive. We get to test these beasts out a bit better. So yeah, sit back and relax and enjoy the Lariat.
Come for the ride. You know, fun fact, Lariat translates to a rope you can use as a lasso.
Oh.
And therefore, I think Ford has done this intentionally because they've roped us all into an F150.
Ooh.
True. And you know what? Sounds like a piss take, but it's not even.
It's a fact.
It's a fact. Take it to the bank.
Okay, I'm going with it. The lasso. Just finished a 63 kilometre drive. We're just talking comparatively 300 series right now and the Lariat. What do you reckon if they were side by side and bang for buck and all that sort of jazz? What do you reckon?
I'm going F-Truck.
Yeah,
which hurts me to say as a Toyota devout man, but I think more towing capacity here, bigger cab,
yeah, heaps more space inside compared to a 300 series.
I think the actual fit and finish of this is very similar to a Toyota.
Yep.
So you're not sacrificing that.
Yep. A lot of buttons, a lot of features,
a lot of things. I think the only thing that Toyota probably has over this is Toyota's off-road cruise control.
Yep.
Whereas this doesn't really have that really advanced active sort of traction control system for off-road, but
it's mainly for towing. These are designed to tow.
It's for towing. Are you going to take $150,000 300 off-road? You're probably not, are you?
There's not too many people that do that.
So,
and there's not too many tracks that you or I would hit in something like this either.
That's right.
But if I was towing a boat or a horse float, something like that,
yeah,
it's kind of a no-brainer.
Yeah, it's a very nice car, and it hauls.
It hauls ass.
It hauls ass.
Absolutely hauls. That place is massive. Holy dooly. RMA. So this is RMA that we're coming to now, which is the remanufacturing facility for all the Fords. It is huge. So this is where they do all the remanufacturing of all the F150s that come into the country, which is side by side to the Ford spares warehouse.
Yeah, just down.
Just
you know what? We're going to go
it.
left there, but we'll take you for a tour.
A little,
you come
to
our left now is RMA.
Yeah, and then
you look at what's on this sign right there.
Ford,
which is the Australia's all the spare parts for every Ford,
which is also massive. So this facility that we're going to go check out is 22,000 square meters. Is that what it?
I think the technical term is
massive.
A shitload. Heaps good terms.
It's huge.
Yeah, this will be one of those warehouses where I think you could stand on one side, look, and just not see the end.
Yeah.
It's just going to go forever and ever.
So, yeah, I'm not sure if the cameras are allowed in here, but we're going to park up and go check it out. It's going to be a pretty cool opportunity to see where all the magic happens, as they say.
That's right.
tell you what, if after being at the RMA to do this walkthrough, man, it's something that you don't get to do very often, but to see how they actually remanufacture all these F150s, you know, they're doing 20 a day that come in on a truck and then go out on a truck. It's absolutely mind-blowing. Such a cool experience to be part of. And to be honest with you, if you got to see what I've got to see and drive these cars over the last 2 days, mate, the 140 grand or whatever it is for the Lariat as the swap over seems very cheap, and I would happily throw my money down to purchase one of these cars. Amazing to drive. Ford has done an amazing job working with RMA to do this, and they've absolutely nailed it. So well done. Hopefully, yeah, Ty, thank you for giving me this chance to hang out with the Ford crew. And hopefully everyone watching Ty's YouTube channel, yeah, has helped me to give you some insight into, you know, the process of remanufacturing one of these beasts. So anyway, don't forget to like Ty's YouTube channel, subscribe, and if you got any comments, drop them down below and I'll get back to you through my YouTube channel, Azventures Australia. Yeah, thanks for having me. Cheers guys.